minipancho94 here with another Dawn of War 2 Retribution Cast. Third game of the 5v5 versus minipancho94 and forceofnature95. Looks like Force of Nature's going Warboss King, going with Slugga straight off the bat. And Shooter Boys, not much different from the start of the last games. We're on the map Sable Frontier, or Seawall Frontier, I can't remember how it's said. Favorite map, pretty much. And one of Force of Nature95's most hated, apparently. Really needs to get those Orc Boys out, having units sit around for quite a while, as you can see during the previous two games. Both teams going in the same pattern for capping, basically directly opposite. Yeah, almost exactly the same. Got Sluggas moving over here to take the wreck position, it looks like. And we've got Sluggas sitting here that really need to get moving. And Warboss capping center with the Sluggas capping the wreck. And over here we got Shooters capping it and Warboss chasing off the Sluggas over here. And taking the wreck for himself. Getting chased off by Shooters. And turning back around when he has reinforcements. So got two things of Shooters up there reinforcing. Sluggas coming in while going down for Force of Nature95. All of his units going in. Shooters Boys falling back. Sluggas retreating already, and his whole army is on the retreat. Going back, cap those points from the looks of it. Really needs to get his Warboss moving. He's been sitting there. He would have made a major difference in that battle if he was able to get him in there. Two generators down already on this power node, and two down for Force of Nature95 as well. minipancho94 gen bashing with these Shooters. No upgrades on them yet, but big Shooter on the way. And nothing else really. No war gear on anyone. We got the Warboss heading over here though. Try to get these guys off the gen bash. We now got two things of Shooters along with the big Shooter. Both of them with the big Shooters actually, I think. Nope, just an error, couldn't tell. So, one or two generators down for Force of Nature95, a major loss. Firing at the Warboss, forcing him off. Sluggas really need to get into combat. Really outnumbered here. It's, yeah, Warboss getting just decimated and goes down. All the Shooter Boys just forcing down. The Shooter Boys decide to switch fire over at the other Shooter Boys. minipancho94 Warboss goes down as well, but the Slugga Boys take out the Force of Nature95 Sluggas as well. And the Shooter Boys continue the gen bash. And the Sluggas go back to capping from the looks of it. Still no big Shooter on the other squad. No big Shooter on them, and no Burnas or any other war gear. Still the only big Shooter. Big Shooter finally going up. Sluggas capping main, and surprisingly letting the gen bash go on. And all the generators go down, and now they're even firing at the point. And Sluggas just doing capping work. Firing with stack going down on the Shooters, and firing with stacks going down on the other Shooters, and just falls back. Knob coming in for both squads fully upgraded now, and now it's just a matter of time. Really powerful as is, just reinforcing there. Brenna's on the Slugga Boys, and Sluggas versus Sluggas in the center. Looks like a lot of special attacks going down. Wah on Force of Nature95 Slugga Boys, taking down the minipancho94, but not without taking quite a few model losses. Shooters decapping Force of Nature95 natural power. I think going in for the cap as well. Yeah, staying for the cap, but it looks like they're going to be driven off by these forces with the Warboss in them. Warboss is coming back at about the same time for both sides. Those Sluggas barely surviving, and these Shooters just going on capping, and these Shooters retreating. Looking like they're reinforcing the power node right here, probably just to stall him. Full gen farm on this side, and just more capping going on this side, engaging any unfavorable engagements from the looks of it. Having to recap is natural, and then these units just sitting here when they could be capping these points and these points without any threat whatsoever. It's like the armies are amassing as well. Finally focusing all those units down on this node. and taking it down. Really wants that node. Stupid ass pirate skin. Why do people use it? It's so annoying. So pretty much map almost completely controlled by red right now. Even going to take his Force of Nature 95's natural, but blue finally making a push out of his base and making a comeback, able to cap some points finally, and able to get some resources out. Still just double shootouts for minipancho94, saving up a lot of resources, and the double sluggas on Force of Nature 95. Units just sitting there, they should go and try to push them off. Capping the victory point down here and capping the wreck. Taking the bottom half of the map. And these units do move down in the end. Surprisingly, not much going on right now. Warboss shooting, but again, doesn't have the custom shooter. Gets some war gear, has spiky armor and angry bits. And Big Bang Hammer on Force of Nature 95. Got a minor engagement here. Firing what's that, surprisingly not going down. Stomp or a special attack, wiping out those Slugga boys. And just wipes. Firing what's that on the war boss, stopping his advance towards the shooters. And just a devastating amount of firepower with both those big shooters. Brought down to half health before I could even reach them, and the whole army just retreats. Thing of Sluggas out for minipancho94. Force of Nature down to just Sluggas and shooters and war boss. Tier 2 already halfway done, and Force of Nature is still recovering from his early game losses. minipancho94 now capping the bottom half of the map, retaking all but literally 1 point on the map at this point. Force of Nature 95 is in a heap of trouble. I mean, it's only 7 minutes in the game, and it's already 343 to 486, surprisingly not more, of how much devastation he was suffering earlier. Warboss on his way to, looks like, do some gen bashing, but Force of Nature is pushing out of his base. All these Sluggas, Warboss has got to be careful in melee, but only so many can hit him. He's only, so many can only reach him. Leaving the point on cap to get in melee the fight, and Warboss using angry bits, charging through the entire army and disrupting it and getting caught out at the back. Looks like Stomp going down, and Warboss going down. Fucking A, I fucking hate my family sometimes. Anyways, squad wipe right there. Shooters down. Surprisingly, both Sluggas didn't go down. Warboss did go down for minipancho94, but gen bashing again. Literally no remorse for Force of Nature 94. Just absolutely devastating in this game. Is there even a Burna on these Sluggas? I can't even select them right now, and yes there is, and they're even going for the cap. So again, I have two commander losses and a squad loss for minipancho94, but those losses pale in comparison to those Force of Nature has taken. Unable to complete the cap of the point, so Force of Nature is going to keep its power, and there's not going to be any complete map control. It's 2 points to 0, and currently 240 to 486. Points for Force of Nature 95 dropping extremely fast, and going for the triple cap. minipancho94 going for the triple cap, but having to pull off to fight off these units. 3 immediate model losses on those Sluggas, just from all the DACA. Way too much DACA for all these guys. Firing what's that on the Slugga boys, wiped straight off, and use your choppers going down a bit too late. Not really useful now as the war boss is retreating, and Force of Nature 95 concedes. Absolutely devastating game. Stood absolutely no chance. Death Dread already out and War Truck coming out. There's absolutely no way he would have been able to make a comeback from this. And that ends Game 3 of the best of 5. I mean, that's it, that's all, and I'll see you guys next time.